Hey everybody, Morgana Galaxia here. Welcome back to my channel. I told you guys last video that I was going to be on Monday, and today's Tuesday. So I didn't make a video yesterday. I want to say I'm sorry about that, but as you know, it's the week leading up to Christmas, and it is just hectic. And I I bet some of you guys are really busy these days too, right? Buying those last minute presents, wrapping up a bunch of stuff. We had to ship a bunch of stuff out of state. So yeah, relatives are in, parties are being had, wine is being drunk. So I hope all you guys are having a really happy holidays. But I wanted to get on today because I want to take a look at Biden versus Manchin. So, oh my God, if Manchin was in front of me, I'd put my foot in his ass right now. What is this guy doing? He is like a one-man wrecking ball. I mean, he is just putting his foot in everything Biden wants to do. And at this point, it looks like he's breaking promises, right? The White House came out and said that he, that he went back on his commitment to the president. So, freaking Manchin. So I want to take a look at Biden versus Manchin, see if we can get anything about those dynamics and who might have the upper hand there. And then I just want to take a look at the Voting Rights Act and then Build Back Better to see if we can get any information about whether those two acts will finally pass and start working for us American people. So I've already been started on my shuffling, but we're going to start with Biden versus Manchin. Biden versus Manchin. If there's any information we can get there about this dynamic, their motives, who has the upper hand. Biden versus Manchin. Okay, Biden versus Manchin. Okay. Let me lay these cards out here. Oh. Okay. I want to take a look at the relationship between Biden and Manchin. And I intended to do my versus spread, but this Celtic Cross just threw itself down, so I'm going to read that for you guys. So we're starting off here with the Two of Swords, which tell, because I'm looking at a relationship here between these two men. This is telling us that they are both at odds. They're both there. They both have their sword. They're fighting it out. They're at odds with each other. With this blindfold here, that means, oh, we really don't know how this is going to go. We really don't know who's going to come up on top. That's where they're sitting right now. Yeah, they're just, at odds. It's dark. Look at these colors here. It's dark. It's moody. It's changeable with this moon here, and the moon in all her phases. This is a changeable situation, but it's hidden from view. We don't know how this is going to resolve. The challenge is the Ten of Cups. So this is my happy voter card, which tells me that the challenge to this relationship are the voters, the will of the voters, the benefit to the voters. So, for Biden, he feels that he's, fighting for us, right? He's fighting for a Build Back Better and the voting rights and just everything. He's just trying to pass these huge plans that benefit us American people, to make us happy, to make our lives a little better, to ease the pressure a little bit, to make people a little richer, a little happier. That's Biden's challenge, because that's what he's trying to accomplish, and he's being thwarted. As far as Manchin is concerned, it's an interesting card, but with Manchin, his actions are probably going to unseat him. I imagine his voters in Virginia are not happy with him. He's going to have to face he's going to have to face repercussion with these voters. So, you know, that's the challenge right here, is that I think this is going to come back and bite him in the ass when it comes time for him to be elected again. So in the sky, what are they both inevitably going to have to face? The Knight of Swords. So a battle. There's going to have to be a battle. And, you know, they've been, right? This is what all we're seeing. Manchin is fighting everything. Biden's fighting for everything. They're battling, battling, battling. But with this being what they're inevitably going to have to face, to me, is maybe the big blowout. You know, this might be Biden finally coming down with the hammer. Or this might be Manchin finally just checking that no for the last time and just killing everything that he can, right? So it's a battle. This is what's still in front of them. They're not going to be able to escape it. They're going to have to come face to face, and one of them's going to be defeated. One of them's going to win. And again, with this eagle in the sky, this tells me, you know, the interests of the United States here, as this is our symbol, right? The interests of the United States here at play. We're watching this situation. You know, we're soaring above it, looking down on it, seeing how this thing's going to pan out. So our interests are at play. What's foundational? What's foundational to this question of Manchin and Biden is a 3 of Swords. More swords. So treachery, betrayal, heartbreak. This is definitely, I would say, foundational. You know, the fear here is like, oh, no, we're all going to be heartbroken. Now, this is what's foundational between these two men. So Biden, he is feeling sabotaged, right? He's feeling like he's been stabbed in the back. He's feeling the pressure, the heartbreak, the pain for the American people, right? He's feeling constantly under attack. And you know, there must be a lot of anger there, a lot of negative energy, you know, for Biden. And for Manchin, you know, I can't pretend to know as well what his motivations might be. But again, stabbing Biden in the back, you know, stabbing people in the heart, betrayal, grief. There's also regret here. This card very often can be regret. So both of them are wounding each other. I happen to think, you know, Manchin's wounding Biden more because we elected Biden and his agenda, and nobody wanted Manchin, you know, throwing his weight around. But Manchin, this is foundational to him too, whether it's regret over what he's done, you know, this is pointing to his betrayal, or, you know, later on, if these voters vote him out of office, he might be losing his seat, you know, be full of regret. So yeah, that is foundational. So in the recent past, what's the energy that they've come through? We have the Page of Wands. And this is pointing to the work that Biden is trying to do, right? The Build Back Better plan, the infrastructure plan, voting rights, those pieces of legislation, the work that he's trying to get done. He is trying to, you know, move that forward. But this page is telling us that it's kind of telling us that, you know, it's sort of early on in the process. There's still a lot of work ahead that needs to be done. Still a lot of growing that needs to happen here. So, you know, I just think it's saying in the recent past, this is Biden putting out these plans, putting out these ideas, things that he wants to do, Build Back Better, etc. And he had to go around the country, right, and drum up support from the voters. He is constantly talking to the House and the Senate, drumming up support with those people in there. It's like drumming up support. That's what this card is, I guess, is what I'm circling around to. This is what the pages do. They go out there, you know, with the message, with the communication. He's drumming up support here with that. So what energy are they going to be moving into here we have the Nine of Swords. Oh my God. Except for the happy voters here, well, we do have a Wands. It's swords, 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 which talks about not only the sort of legal law, you know, legislative aspect of what they're doing here, but also the battling that they're going through. It's a conflict of ideas, not physical nature necessarily. A conflict of ideas. That's what the swords are, right? That air element, the ideas, the thoughts, the big plans. But I digress. The energy they're going to be moving into with the Nine of Swords here is just continued anxiety, continued fears, sleepless nights, a lot of worry, you know, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety. So they're both moving into this energy. Okay, so this is still an incomplete situation here. I want to know what the result, well, this is talking about their relationship. So they're just at odds. They're at odds, and there are extreme emotions at play here. Emotions that are going to lead to a continued anxiety, continued worry, continued you know, just concerns. Let's see if I can, let's continue. I'm just going to continue here with a few, see if we can get some additional information. Who is advantageous here? Okay, so I'm starting out with the Hierophant, which is just pointing to the government. Biden and Manchin are both in the government. Biden, of course, being the president, has more power, has the upper hand in that regard. We have the Seven of Cups on top of that, which is talking about like a lot of illusion and delusion. And I think this is what these two guys are kind of putting us through. You know, Biden's offering all these grand ideas, you know, and Manchin is pulling them away, saying, oh, that's unreasonable, that's impractical, I can't support this, I can't support that. So there's a lot of different things that are in the air, balls in the air here. And we're ending up, I'm just going to leave it here with the Nine of Cups, which is a great card, actually. If I'm going to leave it here, the Nine of Cups is a great card. This is all about fulfillment, obtainment. We finally get what we're waiting for. The money, the resources, the emotional satisfaction that we're all waiting for. You know, often this card to me is sort of that flush retirement. You know, at the end of your life, working so hard, you finally made it and you can retire in comfort. That's the kind of feeling behind this card. So it's like all these cups here that Biden is offering us and Manchin just keeps trying to knock over. Here they are. They're gonna be in our homes. You know, they're gonna rest with our families. So I do feel like, you know, this is a great ending card. It tells us, yes, we'll be fulfilled. We'll receive. We'll be receiving abundance. So that's a good promise that this might turn out in the end to the favor of us American voters here. That's what I'm really hoping is the case. You know, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to look to the alternate shadow side to that because we're going to keep that positive in our mind. You know, I feel like it might just come to the fact that Biden might just have the edge as president. You know, if he's got a hammer to bring down on Manchin, maybe he finally does it. But in the end, it looks like we might get what we want. Okay, so I want to take a look at the two bills, packages, whatever you want to say. I want to take a look at voting rights and then the Build Back Better that supposedly Manchin has said he's gonna vote no on. Well, let's start with voting rights because, like I said in my last video, Democrats can't hold power if they don't get this voting straightened out because Republicans will cheat and hold power through cheating. If any of you have heard the phrase of the permanent minority, or no, was it permanent majority? Basically, I think it's permanent majority. Essentially, you know, the Republicans have had this long view plan to create a permanent majority. In other words, they will always be in power. They will always hold the majority. They will always hold the power. And the idea behind that is no matter what the voters want. Doesn't matter what the voters vote for. Doesn't matter who wants what. They want to make it so Republicans always have a permanent majority. So if we don't get voting rights done, they're going to win. So we need to take a look at voting rights. Is this going to happen or what? Are we going to get voting rights? We need to have this voting rights passed before the next election. All right. Take a quick peek at voting rights. Okay, so we're starting off with the Queen of Swords. So this is us. So the Queen of Swords is someone who's very fair, very honest, has a lot of integrity, is very honorable. Okay, so this to me would be sort of the heart of voting rights. That it's all about fairness, equity, balance. Everything's on the up and up. Everyone has their fair vote, right? This is the fairness of the system. So this queen is telling me that this is what we're talking about here. When we're talking about voting rights, we're talking about fairness, honesty, and integrity. The challenge with the Six of Pentacles, here's the payoffs, here's the money dealing, here's the opposite of the integrity, right? This is the unethical, low down, double dealing, payoffs, bribes, what have you, money changing hands, people getting bought and sold. That is the challenge to voting rights here. It's imbalance, essentially. I'm going to take money from them and give it to them over there. And then I'm going to take money from you and I'm going to give it to them over there. It's manipulation of money. Or, you know, in this case, manipulation of voting. I want them to vote, but not them to vote. I'm going to count these votes, but not those votes. So again, it's about that imbalance, the unfairness, the paying off, the moving stuff around, the shiftiness. However, for an outcome card, couldn't ask better than the Six of Wands. Okay, that's victory. So I would say that yes, the question is voting rights going to pass? We will be victorious. So yeah, it just needs to happen before the next election. And finally, I want to take a look at Build Back Better. So this is a social part of the plan that was supposed to be passed hand in hand with infrastructure. And the progressives were really fighting to get those two done together simultaneously. Because, you know, they were worried that what would happen, which is what happened, is that support would fall apart, people would start maneuvering, that it just would kind of stall out. That, you know, there was a risk that it just wouldn't happen. And so now that's what's happening, right? Friggin' Manchin is breaking his promise to the president, threatening to vote no. Oh, he just can't. He just, heaven forbid he do something to help the American people. You know, he's got no problem sticking it to voters in every state across the whole entire nation, all right? He must have the hugest ego. Oh my God, that he thinks that he's worth an entire nation's people not getting what the president wants because, you know, he don't like it. Okay, you guys. Build Back Better. How's this gonna fare? How's this gonna fare with Manchin, you guys? Build Back Better. So, these cards. Build Back Better. Show me Build Back Better. There we go. do a bigger spread here. Oh my goodness. Let's do another one. Okay, so here we are with Build Back Better. We're starting right off with the Ten of Swords. So I think this is being stabbed in the back. You can't put it right more on the nose than that. Manchin done stabbed Biden in the back. He promised he would be a yes vote. Now he's saying he's a no vote. All the media is saying he's killing this bill. Biden got stabbed in the back, and boom, here we are. The challenge with the Page of Cups, you know, the immediate feeling I got with this card is this is Biden trying to change Manchin's mind with an insufficient argument, like, come on, Manchin, it's the right thing to do. Sort of the right thing to do argument. Come on, Manchin, the voters want it. It's the right thing to do. You know, you should be doing the right thing. It's like he's trying to bring Manchin along in this really sort of immature or non-persuasive ways, just not strong enough. So this is, to me, the soft touch, this young page with the cups, right? It's like he's appealing on an emotional level. He's not bringing down the hammer, okay? He's using the soft glove still. And that's a challenge in this question. So this is indicating to us that Biden needs to find his hammer and bring it down and stop pussyfooting around with Manchin here. So Build Back Better. What is in the sky? What are we all going to have? What is this going to have to inevitably face? And here we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is all about loss, financial destitution. And I think this is telling us that, you know, without this Build Back Better plan, man, nobody's going anywhere fast. Nobody is, I should say, you know, there's a lot of people who are still unemployed, a lot of people who don't have their medical or can't afford childcare, right? All these kind of, you know, the money drain on all of us, on all Americans. I mean, we just have a spigot in our pocket and it's on full, right? We bleed money. Everything costs money. People are getting poorer. Wages are stagnant. Everything costs more. We're bleeding money. We're getting poorer. That's what this card is telling us. Like, this is something that's inevitably we're gonna have to face. That's why Biden is doing these big plans, is because we're in decline here. This is telling us we're in decline. Our infrastructure was in decline. Our financial durability is in decline. Nobody has savings anymore, right? There's elites, and then there's the lower classes, which are just swelling. More and more people are moving, you know, from middle class down to working class, down into poverty. So, you know, the need is very great for some big structural changes that benefit the people. What's foundational to the question of Build Back Better is Seven of Pentacles. So this is the Reap What You Sow card. But it has to do with review. So when you're planting seeds for your future, you know, it's like when you plant a garden. You always go back in your garden and you pull out the weeds, you pull out, you know, the plants that are struggling, you pull out the stuff that's dying so that everything that's there can grow bigger and fuller, right? It's this separating the wheat from the chaff kind of thing. You're in review. You're always cutting off what doesn't work for you, keeping what works for you. So this being foundational to this question does tell us that they're going to be parsing this Build Back Better plan, deciding what to keep, deciding what to get rid of, deciding, you know, what the dollar amount in the end is going to be. But the warning and the lesson here is you reap what you sow. So if you're going to put through some half-assed bill, that's what you're going to get out of it, half-assed results. If you want kick-ass results that really help the American people, you got to make that investment. You reap what you sow, all right? That is foundational. It's a promise. It's a warning. So if we can do it right, We have so much to gain. Okay, so in the past, what's the energy that this bill has come through is the Seven of Swords. So this is the Thieves card. So you're trying to get away with something. You're escaping the camp. So this is like Manchin, right? Generally, this person's in their own camp stealing from their own people, grabbing what they can before that getaway. So whether it's Manchin or some other forces at work here, the idea is that somebody tried to get away with something here. Somebody stole something here, tried to abscond with something here. And yeah, I'm trying, I try and think, through different scenarios here. And, someone on the other side might say, oh, maybe that's Biden, maybe he's trying to steal a bunch of money. That money, that package, there's no stealing there, right? It's up front. Here's a plan. This is what the money I want. This is how we're going to use it. This is how it's going to benefit the American people. It's just all the, the Manchins and the Republicans and everybody who wants to slice and dice it, reduce it, make it meaningless. It's just, they're trying to get away with that. They're trying to get away with that. And that energy moving, from the past into today, where's that leaving us? Here with the Eight of Swords. Interesting, because this often is what happens to the thief. So you have the thief here trying to get away with something. And then here we have, this is someone whose actions, whose deeds, whose crimes, whose prejudices, what have you, all that negativity ends up ensnaring them, ends up binding them. It's like your own faults, your own lies that weave the web that catch you, right? That's what this card is all about. So whoever, and there's definitely a through line here. So whoever this was trying to get away with something are going to be ensnared, confined by their own actions. So they're going to get caught, essentially. And that card can often be the card of jail, too, getting arrested because you're being bound up. See, little handcuffs there, little handcuff action. Though we're talking about Build Back Better here. I don't think Manchin's going to be handcuffed. And, he's not the only one. All you need is like one or two GOP people to say, yes, I'd like to help the American people. But apparently that's asking too much. And for the end, I wanted an end result card here. And here we have the Page of Pentacles. So to me, this is a shiny new Build Back Better plan. I get the sense here with this beautiful card of it passing. Here's, a badge for Biden, a trophy he can put up there. It's like an accomplishment. He's got this done, and it's just a really positive, just a very positive card, that something was accomplished here. Now the page, again, has to do with maybe there's still work that needs to be done. Maybe it wasn't quite everything that they wanted it to be. They might have had this big grown-up plan, and all they could squeak through was maybe this sort of lower-level junior plan. That's kind of the feeling. It was maybe a little smaller, a little bit reduced, but it's in hand. It's in hand here. So yeah, I think that some version of the Build Back Better plan will get passed. Manchin's meddling is definitely in there. There's a lot of all these cards are here. The anxiety, the nightmares, the spinning web of lies here. So it's going to be difficult to get through that, because this is the sort of timeline we're on here. Getting away with something, being stabbed in the back, being caught in a web of lies. And above here we have the struggling of the people, foundation, you get what you deserve. But yeah, ending on this Page of Pentacles, something will pass. Something. Not the full package. Not the full package. But something will get accomplished here. There will be a victory there as well. Okay, everybody, that's going to be it for me today. I will try and do one more video before Christmas. So if today's Tuesday, maybe Thursday, I'll do one more. And then time to open some presents, you guys. So I hope that you're doing great, and I'll see you in a couple days. All right, take care. Bye.